Yeah, we're live.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back for another live art tutorial session. So today we're going to do a portrait drawing. So you know this character from Stranger Things, right? So we're going to draw this girl. Her name is Eleven. So we will start with sketching, and after that we will do watercolor painting. Okay. So I hope your materials are ready. So I'm going to use these paper. I'm going to use this watercolor paper. So when you use watercolor paper, make sure you're using a thick paper, like 140 lb or something. So that's for good for kids and all the beginners. Okay. And the colors. So you can use watercolor pan set or watercolor tube set, any material that is available to you. And if you don't have watercolor paint, you can use acrylics or any material that you have. Okay. Or else you can simply color with crayons or oil pastels. Anything is fine. So we'll be focusing more on sketching part. Okay. So you can draw nicely and you can decide whether you need to do watercolor painting or maybe some oil pastels or anything, but make sure it is neat drawing. So I will go slowly with each step, each step, so you can just follow all these steps and then we can start coloring. Okay. And also you can use this Sharpie. If you have a Sharpie or permanent marker, you can use that for outlining if you like thick outlining for your work. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, guys, if you're ready, we can start. And you can also put your comments in this, questions in the comment section, so I can answer that questions. And Twinkle is also here moderating the session, so she can also help us, answering the questions. Okay, okay, guys, let's start. I'm going to switch, connecting to my camera. Yep. Okay. I hope everybody can see this nicely. And look at this. So I'm going to use very light tones of yellow ochre and some light tones of vermilion red and yeah, blue colors and all. Okay, so it's like minimum colors, very light and minimum colors. So it's very easy. Okay, so I'm going to keep it here. So take your paper. And first we will start with the sketching, very light sketching. Okay. So I'm leaving a small space at the top, like 4 finger space or something for background space. So mark very lightly. Don't darken any of these lines now. And then we have to make, see, look at the shape of the head. So it's like egg shape. So how can we draw that shape? First, we need to draw a circle and then we can add these curved lines like a triangle shape. Okay, that's an easy method. So make a big circle very lightly. You can take one hand space for the circle. It's really big because we are just drawing the portrait. We are not drawing the full figure sketching. We are just drawing the portrait. So make the circle bigger than your hand, like this much. And when you draw the circle, you can check the spacing on left and right. Should be equal, somewhat equal. Okay. So make a very light circle. That's the first step. Done. If you're ready, we can go to the next step, that is dividing the circle with a straight vertical line in the middle. So this is the middle. I think this is the middle. We'll check. So when I eyeball it, this is the middle. So I'm going to check it. Right and left. Yeah, kind of okay. So if you got the middle of the circle, you can use a ruler or something and make a straight line in the middle. So don't darken these lines. These are going to be the guidelines for drawing the head. So one straight line exactly in the middle of the circle. And you can see I extended this line outside just to get the shape of the head, egg shape of the head. And how much? A little bit, like three finger or 2 finger space outside the circle. And don't worry about the speed or anything because this video will be available after the session too. So you can come back and check that. Okay? Yeah. Maybe you can just watch if I'm going a little bit faster then. And you can come back anytime and draw this. Yeah, so this is the spacing for the head. Now I'm going to draw a triangle-like shape from the sides of the circle. So it should be from the edge of the circle, okay? So if this is the middle, and if this is the middle, you can keep your pencil like this, and your curve should start from here. The triangle-shaped curve, should start from the side of the, circle. So very light, rough sketching. Yeah, we got an egg shape for the head. And check everything nicely, because when we draw first, maybe it will be a little bit different. So we have to refine the shapes and lines slowly. So when I look at this one, it looks a little bit bigger for me. So I'm going to reduce the spacing. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So if you look, if you, check your drawing. If you feel this is kind of a little bit longer for the head, you can adjust it or else you can keep it. No problem. So always go back and forth until you're happy with the whole shape. Yeah, this is kind of okay when I'm looking at this. Yes. So we got the shape of the head. Now I'm going to erase these lines. Yeah. So we got the shape of the head, like an egg shape. Again, this is not final. We are still figuring out the length and width and all. Okay. And I'm going to do a very rough sketching for the neck and her clothes. So she's wearing a big jacket. So it's a little bit bigger. So we need to make this rectangle shape for the neck and then roughly draw these lines just for you to understand the whole thing and proportion. So still we are not finalizing any of these lines. We're just figuring out the shapes with basic geometrical shapes. Yeah. See, look at this one. So I got more space here for this drawing. So I got, so I can draw all these stuff. But here it is a little bit different, but that's okay. Both are okay. So if your drawing is like this, that is okay. If your drawing is like this, that is also fine. Okay. Adjust it according to the space available to your, composition. I'm going to keep it like this so you can see both. Yeah. So any spacing is okay. Don't worry about all this stuff. So I'm roughly drawing one line from the sides of the neck. Just something like diagonal lines, two diagonal lines. We need to add color and all the stuff, but just rough sketching. Yeah. So we got overall proportions and everything. Now we're going to go into the details and small things. So I'm going to lighten this line, but you can keep it. It's fine, okay? Don't erase it completely. That line, just make that line lighter. It's a vertical line, straight line. And when I'm looking at the position of the head, it is slightly tilted downwards. So when you look at this line, this is not a straight line. Actually, this is a curved line in the middle because of the tilt of the head. And she's looking up, so it's a very nice, position of the head. So I'm going to draw a curved line instead of a straight line. It's somewhat in the middle, okay? So if this is the middle, okay, not exactly middle. Yeah. Yeah, around middle, okay? Not exactly in the middle. Something around middle. So make a curved line. You know why we are drawing it? We are just imagining this shape as a 3D shape. But when you cut a 3D shape, when you tilt that, we can see the curve on the top. It's not a flat 2D. I have something here to show that. See. Yeah. For example, this is 3D shape, a cylinder. If you look at this one, okay, so this is a straight horizontal line if it is in our eye level. But when we tilt it, you can see that oval. So when we tilt it more, you can feel that oval more. See? So this is why we are drawing a curve instead of straight line here. Because it's tilted, little bit tilted. So this curve, this is what we are drawing here, okay? But we can see only one side. That's why we are drawing only one curve. If you can see both sides, if it is a transparent object, that curve will come like this. If you cut some cylinder or something like a spherical object in, in half, we can see, you can see that oval at the top. You see that? Yeah. So just make a curved line somewhat in the middle. I'm not going into small details. Okay. And just mark nose kind of in the middle. Yeah, here. So this space is for nose and lips, and nose will come in the middle. Yeah. And just below that, you can draw a tiny straight line for lips. So just make very light sketching. Again, we can go into details and refine the shapes later. So our eye will come here, okay? So I'm going to draw an oval shape for the eye. When you look at this one, it's more closer to an oval shape. So leave space in the middle. So I'm going to leave 2 finger space in the middle. Yeah, you can adjust it according to the space of your head shape. So I'm leaving equal space on both sides, 1 finger, 1 finger. Okay, and just draw oval on that line. If you like bigger eye, you can make it bigger. If you like smaller eye, you can make smaller. Because we are drawing an illustration style, so we can change it. You can change it according to your style. Then eyebrow will be very close for this position because she's tilting her head. So this eyebrow is looking very close to the eye. Yeah, just make a small curved line and we can change it if you want. See, most of the time when I draw portrait, a cute portrait, I will always make like 1 finger space between eye and eyebrow. But for this one, this particular one, this eyebrow is very close to the eye. See? Okay, so that is the spacing for the features inside the head. Now we have to draw the ear. We can see a little bit of this ear on the side and see this shape. It's very nice. It's not an exactly like a C shape. It's kind of a curved line comes like this and making a small curve in this, below this. Okay. So first we need to draw this curved line from nose just like this. So this one is a curve, right? So we'll draw a curve here also, same type of curve here too. And this is where we're going to draw the ear. So we got the position, right? So on this line, this is the position of the ear. And what is the shape? It's like a small curve, very close to the head shape. And then a diagonal line, very close to the head shape. Then it's making a small curved line here also. Something like this. Okay? Yeah, we can make it different. If you like a different type of ear, you can change it. It's fine. I'm just trying to draw the same type what I saw in the picture. Yeah, something like this. A curved line, a diagonal line, a curved line. So it's very easy to understand if you convert that into basic shapes and lines. So if everything is good, we can just go into the next step. That is adding the hair, adding the details inside the eye, nose, and lips. Okay, so step by step. So if you have any questions or anything, you can put that in the comment section, okay? Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining today. I'm so happy to have you all. Yeah, and also you can put your comments like what you like to draw in future, so I can choose some from that. Because I got this idea from one of my student. Her name is Anvi. So she told me she loved this series, so she wants to draw 11. So that's why I choose this one. But if you have any suggestion, yeah, maybe we can pick that. You can choose some from your suggestions too. Okay, guys, so let's add the details now. I hope everybody could finish this much. Now I'm going to add eye. So before that, look at the eye. So how can we make this eye a little bit cute? So we are not drawing too much eyebrow or anything, but you can make this line darker. Just the top line darker, maybe thick too. Because when we outline with Sharpie, make sure it is kind of thicker. Yeah, if you want, you can add one line for eyebrow. That's enough. Okay, same thing for the other one too. Just make this line thick, wide. Yeah, if you want, you can add one line for eyebrow. Then we need to draw the eyeball. So her eyeball is not touching the lower eyelid. So there is a gap. So just mark the space. Then you can draw half circle or maybe 3/4 of the circle. Yeah, here it is half circle. But this one, the eye is a little bit bigger. So I'm making 3/4 of the circle, not complete circle, 3/4. And when you paint or color, you can leave space for that little glow in the eye. So if you want, you can just mark it now itself, a tiny oval. You want me to go zoom into that eye so you can see the shape? Yeah. See, I just made a small tiny oval for that little glow in the eye. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Just mark the spacing for the eyelid. I mean, the lower part of the sclera, that white part of the eye. Just make a half circle or 3/4 of the circle. Then leave that tiny gap for that little glow. And then darken the eyebrow. If you like that eyebrow, you can just darken it. So it's not too much curved. It's more like a diagonal line. Yeah, something like this. And we will make some shadow areas below the eyebrow so we can focus more on the eye, that, the staring of her face. Yeah. Now I'm going to erase all these guidelines so I'll get more clarity. So nose is here, right? A tiny line. Maybe you can make a curved line, slightly curved line. That is enough. I'm not drawing the nose. I'm just keeping it like this, simple. But another thing you can do here is draw one line from eyebrow to the nose. But it is not a continuous line. It's like a small piece of curved line. But when you connect, it's kind of starting from eyebrow to the nose. So this is a shadow line for nose bridge. Maybe you can draw a continuous line to nose and then you can erase it. So we'll get an idea where to put that line. So just a small curved line for the shadow line. And lip, I'm not drawing lip. I will paint it with watercolor. Here you can see there is no line at the top. Only there is a shadow below the lower lip. Okay, for chin. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just drawing one line. So this will be a shadow line for lips. And we are not drawing any line for lip. That's it. Yeah, you can see this one is just paint. No outline. Yeah, maybe you can make this line tiny bit longer on both sides. Not too much because it's not smiling. Yeah. And the last thing is drawing the hair. So we can see her forehead more. So I'm going to leave like a 3-finger space or something. So check your drawing. Just leave more space at the top for forehead. Okay, then yeah, just make a curve like this because of the tilted position. So instead of the straight line, we will draw a curve, leaving a 3 finger space, or yeah, a little bit more space than normal usual proportion. And then we have to start one line. Straight line is better. Straight line from the sides of the ear. Okay. And then make a straight line and make a curve here because she doesn't have hair. So it's very, yeah, small, short hair actually. So this is the shape. And instead of straight line, I will add something like diagonal line to show that small, short hair. Yeah, if you're drawing border, you can just draw these kind of lines. So you can look at the position or the axis of this diagonal line or the angle of the diagonal line, like this. It's like this. Okay, both side. And here also you can add few lines to show her short hair. Yeah, not too much, this is enough just to mention that lines. So this shape is okay. So we are not drawing any other line because she doesn't have a very long hair. So this shape is good enough. And now we can check the shape of her face, chin and all, cheek. If you want to make any change, you can do it now. So you can look at this one, it's like slightly curved shape. So this is like a flat diagonal line. So I'm going to make some changes, making some small variation here. It's a little bit more curved, like a round face. But if you like your contour, if you like that shape, you can keep that. I'm making it a little bit more chubby, like a little bit cheek here, rounded shape instead of flat shape. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm making a small curved line here instead of that diagonal line. See, you can see the change now. So that way we can make it very cute. More rounded with a tiny chin, pointy chin. See that difference? I made a small change, like 1 millimeter change, and you can feel that variations. More cute now. Okay, so we got the shapes. Now we can erase these guidelines, erase completely, because if you're using watercolor, all these lines will show up. Because watercolor is a transparent medium, so make sure all these lines are lighter. I mean, not lighter, completely. Erase completely. Yeah, that's it. So check your drawing, refine the shapes and lines, erase all the guidelines. Now we are moving on to the next step, that is drawing her clothes. That nice dress with a collar. Yeah. Ooh. It's a little bit. Yeah, I got that is okay. So if you're okay, we can just move on to the next step, that is adding the clothes. First, I'm just making this line darker, the neckline. So you can see what is the line, what type of lines I'm using. Two straight lines with a curved lines, like a cylinder shape. Okay, cylinder shape, curved line, one curved line, and two straight line. And just draw one line on the side for her jacket, starting from here, the middle of the neck here. Okay, just a small line like this, random diagonal line. You don't need any perfect type of line or anything. Just make some line like this, random shape. Same thing. You can start another line from here. Just make something like this. And then draw the collar. It's very simple. Just mark the middle of this neck here at the bottom, just here, and two curves, one, two. Okay, and then big collar for her jacket. So it's kind of starting from here. So just start another line from here. Maybe you can go outside or it can be inside. Anything is fine, okay? I'm going on the same line. I'm making a diagonal line, a collar, and some random shape. Again, this line can go outside this shape or inside or on the line. Anything is fine, okay? Because it's a jacket, so it's fine. So I'm making a diagonal line from the same position, collar, a triangle shaped collar, and some random lines over here. And this line you can keep. So we finished the sketching, and just erase all the lines, make everything neat. See, I'm using a kneadable eraser. You can see it's like a clay. So it's absorbing all the dust on my paper. So your desk will be neat if you're using this kind of eraser, especially for watercolor. So it's called kneadable eraser. So check everything. If everything is okay, if you like your drawing, you can just outline and then we can start coloring or painting. Yeah, and so this thing is just some lines and patterns on the clothes, some dashes to show some patterns. Because we're using very light colors, pale colors. So something should be there to give some contrast. That's why I'm adding these patterns. And you can check this one too. If you have more space, you can give her these kind of lines or her pleats on the dress. Okay, some random vertical lines or diagonal lines for here. So I don't have space on this one, so that's why I'm just drawing some dashes. So if you like drawing, if you like your drawing, you can start outlining. You can use Sharpie. So if you don't have a Sharpie or permanent marker, don't use it because it can mix with your colors. So it's better to keep your drawing just like this. If you have a Sharpie, outline it or just keep it like this. So we can discuss the colors and we'll start painting. Yeah, I'm going to use this color for skin tone. That's yellow ochre. Okay, so yellow ochre for skin tone. And what kind of tone we are using? Very light tone of yellow ochre. Okay, that means just take a little bit of your yellow ochre, darker yellow, just a tiny bit. Take into your palette, add lots of water, check your color. So I'm just checking on a sheet of paper. Oops, this way. Yeah, this is the tone we need. So if you're not adding water, it will look like this. Let me just show you. So if your yellow ochre is like this, that is not the color we want. We need a very light tone. What we have to do, take it into your palette, do a small well, mix a lot of water. Yeah, it's just diluted. We need more lighter tone. So I think I can, instead of mixing in the same place, I can just take a little bit of this yellow ochre to another place. Again, I can dilute it with water. See that variation? So with the same color, I got different variations. So we need this tone, very light tone of yellow ochre. If you're using this kind of, colors. But if you have a skin tone already in your set, if you have a bigger set, some of you have this skin tone, right? Peach color or something like pale brown. So if you have a, a skin tone, you can use that. You don't need to use yellow ochre. It's up to you. You have to decide. Okay. Okay. Yellow ochre or any skin tone that you like. And take a medium sized brush or bigger brush for this because it's a bigger space for head. And don't color inside the eye, but you can color everywhere else, all the skin areas. See where I'm starting from the sides, slowly painting this part. Very light tone of yellow ochre. And if you like a different skin tone, you can experiment with the colors and make your own skin tone. Don't worry about that's the same color I'm using, okay? It's up to you because I don't want this things to be more complicated or anything. So that's why I'm just using only one color. But if you like experimenting, if you like mixing, you can mix your own skin tone and use it. Yeah, very light tone of yellow ochre. That's what I'm doing. I'm not worried about these marks on the face and all, okay? I'm just keeping it. I'm not overdoing it. If you finished, one layer of color, stop. That is the rule. Yeah, head is good. I'm painting the neck. See, another technique in watercolor is paint everywhere and quickly take a clean plain brush and clean brush without water, sorry, without paint, and you can remove some colors. If you want a very light tone for cheek, you can do that technique. I didn't do that for here, but I'm just giving you some ideas. If you like a very light tone here, you can just clean your brush and quickly erase some colors or absorb some colors with plain brush, plain wet brush, especially for cheeks, chin, wherever you want a light tone, even on the neck. So your paper should be thick enough for all this technique, okay? If your paper is very thin, then these techniques will not work. So always check the thickness of the paper when you buy. That is 140 RB. That's a very good thickness for all the beginners and kids. So I recommend this book. Yeah, and then we have to wait for this layer to dry because we cannot do it now. Cannot do the hair or cloth now because the colors will blend into the wet colors because yellow ochre is wet. So we need some time, like maybe a few minutes. So wait, don't do it now, wait until that layer is dry. Twinkle, any questions or anything from comment section so I can just answer?
None so far, but when we asked about their suggestions, they said if we can draw ballerina for next time.
Yeah, yes, yes, ballerina, that's a good idea. Who
That's
suggested it?
from Chaitanya
Chaitanya.
Maram.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like drawing ballerinas and it's very cute. I think we already did. Yeah, that's okay. We can do one more time. That's fine. We can do a different ballerina if you already did. Oops.
Oh, it's
With my Stranger Things. It's happening. Yes. Oh,
yeah, we can feel the Stranger Things right now.
yes.
And
Oh,
all of that. So
uh,
from Rabbit Girls, can we know when you show watercolors and when use pastels, etc.? So yes, we will announce ahead of time if we will do a watercolor painting on our next YouTube live.
yeah.
Good job, Chaitanya. 'Cause, she said, when I did the hot air balloon, I used non-permanent marker, and when it hit water, it ruined the whole drawing.
Oh, that happens. That's okay. With one experience we'll learn, you will not forget that. So that's the way we have to learn. We have to make mistakes. Slowly we'll learn all these techniques. Good. So that's why I'm not using Sharpie, because I don't want confuse people. So yeah, Sharpie line you can do anytime after the painting or before painting, so it's very safe.
Yeah.
Sharpie pen.
Shashki Yumi said, yes, ballerina, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this is dry. So check your drawing. If that is dry, we can start painting the lips and all. Yeah, next layer. So I'm taking vermilion red. That is an orangish red in my set. Don't worry about the names or anything. So just pick something like an orangish shade, something that looks like this. Okay, and you have to take a small brush because we're painting lips. So this is the color I'm taking. It's called vermilion red. It's like an orangish red. I always use this. So this is a basic set. So it's very easy to pick color. So you won't get confused with lots of colors. Yeah. So this is the color. I'm going to make it lighter. Again, I'm checking the color whether this is good enough. Oh, it's very dark. And I want a very light orangish color, like a pale skin tone. Yeah, this color. I want this color. So I just lighten it with lots of water. So use a small brush. Yeah, this is good. So I'm going to use this brush like this tone. Okay, so first I'm just drawing one line above this lip line, a thin line above the lip line, and a thick line below the lip line. Yeah, that's it. And if you like this pink cheek, because if you want to make it cute, you can just do a very light tone. Again, you have to lighten this color, and then you can apply a very light tone of, peach color for that. Yeah, same color with lots of water. Again, I'm lightening to a pale tone. See? So this is completely optional. I'm just adding a small oval below her eye. And I'm using the same color. I'm not adding anything, just water. Vermilion red with lots and lots of water. See, if you don't know which material I'm using, the colors and brushes I'm using, you can check the comment section, the description section. So we'll put everything there. So that's very good and cheap ones. See, I'm drawing one line above this for shadow areas of this eyebrow, and one line just here. So it is a shadow line below eyebrow. And see what kind of shape I'm doing. See, I'm going to go a little bit closer. Hope this will not matter. Okay. Yeah, that's good. See, one line between this eyebrow and eye. That's it. These are very light tone. Okay. Don't darken it. It's nice and pale. Again, you can do one line here also. And nose. Just a thin line for the nose. Yeah. Now we need to do a hair color. So I'm going to do a dark brown but very lightly. So there are two different browns. One is burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is kind of a reddish brown. So I want a pale yellowish brown color. That's why I'm using yellow ochre. but it looks really dark in the set. You know what happens when we add water? Let's check. So this is the brown I'm using. It's really dark. It's called burnt umber. But when we lighten the color, it will look like this. And this is the color I want. Okay. So if you like this burnt umber, you can use it. If you like burnt sienna, you can use that too. It's fine. Any brown is okay. So I'm using burnt umber. That is the darkest brown, but I'm lightening it with lots of water. Okay. Yes, it's a little bit different in color. So use any brown, lighten the color, add one layer for hair. And if you want to make it darker, you can add more layers later. Let's start with one layer first. So you can watch this video after this session too, okay, after the live session. So don't worry if you're a little bit slow, if you're still working on the colors of the eye, cheek or anything, it's fine. Do it in your own speed, don't worry. And watch the video later, comment, see, and then practice. I always like to draw portrait. That's why I'm choosing this. Portrait is actually very easy. If you know that guidelines, if you know the proportions, everything is very easy. You need that foundation, that fundamental things there. Yeah, I like it. I just want to make this side curved. And again, I want to draw these lines to show that hair on the side. See? And same color for eyeball, but we have to leave space for that little glow. So if your brown is pale, you can add 2 layers of brown. One, wait for that color to dry and then apply 2 times. Second time too. Good. See, it's coming out nicely. So just be patient and don't be judgmental. So after drawing 1 or 2 layers of color, it won't look nice. So you have to keep doing it until you're happy with the tones, especially when you are doing watercolor. Watercolor is a pale color, like very simple and dilute layers. So sometimes we have to spend more time to get that finishing. See, I'm just giving that line for the eyebrow too, but if you have a Sharpie, if you're planning to do outline, you don't need to do this, okay? Because you can do this with a Sharpie too. So don't worry about these thin lines now. See, here I use Sharpie. So you can use Sharpie later. No need to do eyebrow now. You can use Sharpie or a marker later. But if you don't have a Sharpie, you can use this, a small thin brush to do these eyebrow line. And the nose line too. Thin line, very thin line. Yeah. So let's paint the clothes. Yeah, this is safe because it is dry. So it is not going to blend with the neck color. So we can paint the dress. So you can change the color. If you like a different color, you can change that too, okay? So I'm going to go with the same color, like vermilion red. Same color that I used for this lips and cheeks. So that is this color, like a peachish red color. Same color with lots of water. Just diluting it. If you want a different color, you can just choose a different color. Don't worry about the same colors or anything. Same color, okay? Vermilion red with more water. So one layer of vermilion red. That's done. Very simple. See, I'm using a bigger brush for bigger area. That's why I can do it faster. My brush is brush number 11. It's a very big brush. Yeah. So Madhu, don't worry about the color of the hair. So you can do one more layer with dark brown. Okay, because you might have used that other one, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is kind of a reddish red color. So if you want, you can do one more layer with burnt umber. Yeah, there was a lot of questions about the materials, right? Twinkle, do we need to answer that now? Okay, yeah, we'll just yeah. Anyway, we need time for this color to dry because this Prussian blue is really dark and intense color. So if you do it now, it will move completely. It will blend into this red color. So I'm going to wait for 5 minutes. So by the time I will just explain the materials that I'm using and recommending. Yeah, so I'm just recommending for beginners. Okay. So this is Canson watercolor paper you will get everywhere in art stores or Amazon. It's 9 by 12 size. That is a normal size for sketchbooks. 9 by 12 inches and thickness is 140 lb. So this paper is really good for most of the mediums like charcoal, pencil shading, watercolors, even acrylic. Because yeah, small kids can use this for acrylics. It's a thick paper. So it has two sides. One side is more, it has more texture. One side is kind of smoother than the first one. So smoother side is good for oil pastels and all the dry mediums, color pencils, charcoal, pencil shading. So use smoother side for dry medium, textured side for paintings, watercolors and acrylics and gouache. Okay, so this one good paper is good enough for everything. If you are a beginner, if you are a small kid. And the paint set I'm recommending is this one. This is Winsor and Newton watercolor set. I had this cover. I want to show you this. So yeah, this is the cover for this set. So you can see the name. It's Winsor and Newton Coatman watercolor. It's a basic set. Yes, sketches pocket set. So that means it's a traveler set. So if you want to travel around the world and paint landscapes and all, you can keep this. It's a small set with all the basic colors and a small brush too. There is a small brush too. Oops. Yeah, so this brush is really good. So it's a pocket brush. You can keep it and you can open it like this. So nice, very nice, good medium, good color set actually. Okay. Yeah, when we compare the color intensity and color pigments quality, it is really cheap actually. So this is the set and it has all the basic colors needed. I don't know why they are including white because we don't use white in this one. Yes, so it has lemon yellow, cadmium red, that means like vermilion red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine. So when you get these colors, each set, each small cake has name on it. So don't throw that. You have to learn the name and then understand the colors properly, and then you have to remove that small plastic cover on it. So it's very easy to understand the names. So this is Verdian green, sabrine, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. So there's white also. Yeah, some people like to use white. Yeah, for some highlights and all. But I will not use. Okay. So that's all about the materials and the brushes. So yeah, brushes, anything is fine because when we start any brush, you can use. Mostly I'm using round brushes. And these brushes are also from Winsor and Newton Coatman. Yeah, brush number 6, brush number 4, and maybe one brush number 11 or 12. So 3 brushes are good enough. Okay, so I think this is dry now. So we can move on to the next step. Yeah, I'm going to choose Prussian blue. That is a dark blue for dress. I mean the jacket. Okay, so just Take a darker blue for jacket. I'm using this one. It's called Prussian blue. Prussian blue or primary blue. It's very dark and intense color. And don't use like a thick paste. Always add water, dilute it. This is the consistency we need. We are not going into a pale color because we need some color there to give a contrast to all the other pale colors. So like medium dark will be good. So painting is all about contrast and values. That means we need to include all the light values, all the mediums and darks. So if you're using all pale colors, it won't look nice. If you're using all colors dark, it won't look nice. So we have to include different values to bring the contrast. So here you can see pale colors. Here you can see a darker color like medium dark. And this one is like really, really dark. So I'm bringing all the values in my painting. And that will give your work contrast. Contrast will give more, that will bring more attractiveness to your work. Visually it will be really beautiful. So bring contrast with different values: pale, medium, light, and dark, and very dark. All these different values. See, we're just adding one layer only for this all these things, okay? But it's up to you. If you like, you can just add more values. You can spend a little bit more time. I just want everybody to enjoy painting. If you are a beginner, if you are an intermediate, so you need to enjoy the painting you're doing, and slowly you can improve on the skill. Yep, that's all about it. So if you like adding more details, I'll give you some idea. Okay, so this is completely optional. You can take the same colors like vermilion red and everything. Maybe you can add shadow lines, details like this. So give time between each color. Thus everything will blend together. See, I'm not touching the side because the Prussian blue is wet. If you touch, it will blend into our colors. So these things you can add with more layers. That's optional. If you like that, you can spend time and you can just slowly work on it. Even for the shadow lines on the neck. See, look at this. I used a light tone of burnt umber to give a shadow line on the sides of the face, sides of the nose, below the chin. See, all these are additional things. But it's up to you. Okay, so very thin line of same color, burnt umber. Or else just outline everything with Sharpie. That's it's very easy. So I'm not painting the background, but if you like, you can do a very light blue color or something lighter than this one. Okay. Yeah, if you like that, you can do it like clouds, or maybe you can add some trees or some. Yeah. I hope you enjoy the process of watercolor painting. Yeah, and we will include more mediums like acrylics, gouache, oil pastels. Okay, I'll try to change the mediums in between, and also you will get all these details before the class. You can check our YouTube channel, so we'll get all the informations about the next live. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, guys. I hope that is good. Okay. Yes, Twinkle. So we finished the
I
works.
can see you. Yes, wow. That's so fun. Like I'm an avid fan of a Stranger Things series on Netflix, and this is so cool. And
Mhm.
if you guys have watched it, please comment below and let me know your thoughts in the comments about 11. And okay, short reminder for all of you guys, our September class are now open. So if you want to enroll in our, or if you want to join in our September class, um you can go to nimisart.com, and we have live plus video and video only. So all the details there, you can see. And we also have an academy, and if you want to choose video only, you can go ahead and enroll as well. And please follow and tag us on nimisart on Instagram. And yeah, that's it. Oh, I think you're mute.
Yeah, I was mute. Yeah, I would love to see your finished work because I want to see what is the result you got in your work, so I can just choose the techniques and topics according to that. I would love to see your works
I'm
and your
so
version
excited.
of 11. Yes.
Yeah, if you have not, if you didn't watch Stranger Things, I think it's not good for 12 below. So if you're interested, because it's scary, there's a lot of monsters in there. So if you're interested to watch, please let your parents know.
Yeah, yeah. I just watched the first series and yeah, and then I stopped. But
Yeah, there's a lot of Stranger Things.
yes, exactly. Okay, yeah. I
Yes.
love this character anyway. It's very beautiful character. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, you can watch this again. We will post it as a replay after this. So yeah, please share and tag us on Instagram.
Yeah, anywhere in the social media. Yeah, if you're in our group, you can just post there to his Facebook group or Instagram, anywhere. Okay,
Yes, yes.
guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye. See you next time with another topic and another medium. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.